who
Oh,
deal with, yeah, they said that my hand being up was aggressive, and I was like, say what?
yeah. I don't know. I think there's a big difference in how we expect men's body language to be compared to women because
Hmm.
just because of sexual dimorphism. So I can't speak on that, but
Hmm.
I could imagine that that is true.
Well, a woman could literally just slap you and you're not allowed to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing is, if she found the action aggressive, then why the fuck would she walk past my arm to get to her location? That meant she didn't see it as a threat. She just, like, how are you gonna say it was aggressive? Like, that's where
Well,
I
you're,
didn't understand.
Yeah,
you're
no, I mean that sounds crazy. If
Right?
the way you're describing it sounds nuts to conclude that. But that's why I would just I would be at the other side of the room just shouting, "See, I'm not close." I would have my hands up and say, "Not close to her, not touching her.
Playing my song. What?
I'm not touching her, but I'm doing my job still. I'm telling her she's not allowed to do this."
Man, somehow you saying you're not touching a woman, Daniel, feels aggressive.
Well, right. I mean, but that's the implication. She's trying to make the implication that I'm touching her.
Yeah, but now you're being aggressive saying you're not
And,
touching.
well, and I'll
Right.
tell you this. My beard, I think, adds,
Oh yeah,
you know, I mean,
yeah.
it gets me at least a quarter of the way to a black guy in the cop's eyes,
wow.
which is very unsettling.
It is unsafe and unsettling. Yeah.
Oh gosh, you guys make me crack up too much.
Did you hear my phone call with disability? Or
Yes, this is why we were yelling at you to fucking mute yourself. You gave away some code,
Yeah, we got your full social and about half of your last name.
that's
right?
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
we already know his last name. It's something kind of cool. I think it's like Maserati or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Mhm.
Maxos Maserati, yeah, the car.
So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I've got to update with.
Well, that one's wild. So, did you get like written up or something for it?
No, not to my knowledge, anyway.
And when
So
did that happen?
Just Friday. Wait, not Friday. On Monday. Sorry, on Monday.
And did they let you like look at the video too?
Yeah, of course. I look at the video now.
You have access to the video.
Yeah, I have access since I'm security.
You were right. That makes sense.
Wait,
Yeah.
1 second. Did Darnell get fucking framed for sexual assault?
He raped her.
You own a Maserati? That's really cool, bro.
I know.
Wait,
And then-
is your
He made
dad-
her smell
the company?
his arm.
Yeah,
Does your family own the company, Maxos?
Not only do we own it, we just like it's like a mutual codependency situation. Like, you know, we are the car and the car is us.
I was just listening to a true crime about a family from Canada
Ooh,
that was not big pharma like Tylenol, but
Mhm.
pretty big distributor of a lot of pharmaceuticals in Canada.
Oh.
And I guess that this couple got, so they had like a $7 billion, dollar estate, and they were found very strangely murdered in their estate. And like there was a real weird fumble by the police trying
Mhm.
to follow up on it. Like they fucked up real bad. And the murder is just like open, like it's not solved. And it's just kind of weird. And the company got totally sold and changed hands so that the money could not go to the family. Like it's real weird. I was just finishing listening about that. Kind of reminded me of that.
You see, cops are incompetent fools.
These ones
They
were really
rarely
bad.
solve anything. Goddamn mother.
Wait,
Well, they do solve things, but you know,
hold on.
it's not always that simple. These are humans.
Let's bring
These
in
ones were
some
not
guys from
familiar
the
with
justice
murder
service.
investigations, so they didn't do a very good job.
Well, that's a big
probably
problem
what-
too. Yeah.
I
But
think we
it
should
could have
bring
been
in-
that they didn't care about this family for some reason, some biased, because they're rich.
Mm.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, and there's a thing where it's like if it's a place where murder is less common, they're actually less equipped to deal with
Yeah,
investigating.
That was
murders.
definitely the situation. They were
Mm.
the whole people that were at that station were not familiar with.
Yeah, they're like, this doesn't happen here. We don't know what the fuck to do.
So why didn't they like call somebody? I think that's a thing they can do, right?
I don't know. I'm not a Canadian police officer.
True that. Probably what, in the 90s, right?
I don't know the date.
I feel like it's something in the 90s, like
It may have been. That sounds right.
yeah.
Well, I hope to catch it on Dateline or 2020 one day, because some of these cases go cold for 20,
Why don't
30
you just
years.
you should just watch some Rotten Mango. She's really fun to listen to.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but I watched Dateline in 2020.
It's on YouTube. Let me send it to you. I
Rotten
think you'd like
Tomato?
her. Well, if you like true crime. Here's this specific one. No, Mango. Rotten Mango.
Oh, Rotten Mango.
It was in Toronto.
Well, I'll check that out. I like a
If you
good
don't like
crime.
her storytelling, there's
What?
probably a bunch of other people that do.
Well,
storytelling.
here's what I hate is when they blue ball you on the resolution. Usually Dateline in 2020, there's a resolution. Like we know that at least there's someone usually either convicted or goes to trial.
Yeah, I think so. She can only. I don't think she does a lot of like update. But I think she tends to only put out videos where that information exists. In this case, this is not a solved crime, so she can't tell the future.
Yeah, I hate the unsolved. I want it solved, and I want to, feel like someone got some. But it's
Listen.
always bad when they catch them when they're like 70. Who gives a shit anyway?
Okay, first of all,
No, that's so true. I just heard a different story about this guy that worked in the Obama and Bush administration. This guy was at the top at the White House, and he was caught being not only racist, but like religiously racist, if that makes sense, against some people from the Middle East. And he was not only fired,
Bigoted,
but
I guess it'd be.
sorry, they didn't sue him. They got like $35,000 on a GoFundMe. So that was nice. But this guy got fucking super canceled. He is never gonna work at the White House again.
well, good.
What do you
riddance.
say?
He was taken
It was-
to court over this.
Yeah, I think he was harassing like a vendor.
Yes, a vendor.
Yeah, he was
My
harassing a
God.
vendor. Yeah. He deserves whatever he gets.
If people got $35,000 though, I think they're okay, and they got a lot of business. So it just sucks.
Yeah. Well, and that's the. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess at least you get something out of it. I'd take some insults for what depends on the level, but yeah, if you gave me a
was
payout.
Nasty. They were really mean.
Yeah.
That guy.
I saw the video. The guy was a cunt. Was a real cunt.
It was
Wait.
really nasty for no apparent reason. Yeah, we are talking about the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, I was like,
No, I think he
no.
was thinking about his usage of cunt.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah.
can I say that?
If you're Australian, you can, but then it's a term of endearment.
He was really shitty.
It's black folks with the N-word. It's the Australians for some reason like
as long as you are a cunt, you can say cunt.
no. If Australians are like, oh yeah, sick cunt, mate, then it's like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, you too, you're a cunt too, and then it sounds bad, and then you're like, oh my god,
Oh my god!
I didn't mean it like that.
This is why Australians hate you.
I'm like, yeah, oh yeah, you're a fucking cunt, yeah.
Oh my
But then
God.
wait, in my accent, that sounds bad.
It does. When you say it, it sounds like you're being so aggressive. Like it's actually crazy.
Yeah,
Stop being
exactly.
so aggressive,
Get you.
Daniel.
Yeah, you're being. Please lower your arm, sir. Please. I feel like
Right.
Sorry, I'm putting in my fucking O light because it's getting dark. Can I?
you have a ring light. That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Whoa.
Let there be light.
Right? Oh my goodness.
I
that is-
take the he's obviously black thing back.
Then God said, "Let there be light." And on the first day, wait, when did God make light? Was it the first day?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
Was light the first thing?
I think so.
That makes
Maybe
sense.
not. Wait. I remember there being an inconsistency where there were plants a day before light. But anyway, whatever.
If that's the case, then it's not real.
Well, maybe the seeds were there, but then they needed the light.
Right.
No, it's day one
It-
light. I looked at it.
It
Day one
has
is
been
light.
translated like hundreds of times.
Yeah, day one seems to be light. Okay, let there be light is the first deal. He got lonely, wanted some light, needed to read a book.
On
You
the
know,
first day, God created light in the darkness. On the second, He created sky. Okay, and then
Atmosphere
dry land
/ firmament,
dry land and plants on the third day. I don't think
ground
they
plant,
talk about firmament in the
sun,
Bible.
moon, and stars. The moon. Oh, wait, the moon. Okay.
Wait, are you reading that from the Bible?
No, it's just a days of creation list.
Okay.
And then he rested on the 7th. But birds and sea creatures.
I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure they don't talk about firmament in the Bible. I think that's.
But wait,
Babylon shit.
in this list, planets aren't actually mentioned. It's sun, moon, and stars.
No,
but they don't
so
say planets.
in the biblical
It's got to be day 4.
In the biblical understanding of the universe, planets aren't very important because the Earth is the center of the universe. So everything else is kind of like snow.
Oh, there are no other planets.
Well, no, there
yeah,
are, but they're more like snow globe effect.
They're
They
more
are
like
very important.
moons of the Earth.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, I'm back,
Yeah.
guys. Are you talking science? You freaking
No,
summer
no.
children.
Well, it's
No.
We are talking about
kind of the
biblical
furthest
planetary
thing.
science.
yeah.
No,
Furthest thing from science, really.
They would have called this science, actually. Yes.
Well, who would have called it that?
Yeah, I was about to say, huh?
You're talking about astrology.
People in the biblical age.
No,
would they call
I-
it science?
I
Yes,
don't think they would have
call
called it science.
They
Mm-mm.
would have. Yes.
Are you sure?
I don't think they would have had a
I'm
concept
positive.
of science.
Yeah, I
They
don't
just
know
wouldn't have
about
had the
that.
concept of science.
Mm. Well, look, the Bible is not real. It's made up story bullshit.
Well, it's
so-
a real thing.
It's a real book. It says pages and shit.
You're
Just like
saying
Harry
that the
Potter.
contents didn't occur the way it's claimed. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
None of
but
the
Harry
contents
Potter
of
was
it.
written by somebody. Harry Potter was written by much.
What about the
dumber
other
people.
books? You like any of the other books?
Are you talking about Harry Potter or are you talking about the
In the
Bible?
Bible?
No, the other books. You know, they got the Bible, you got the New Testament, you got
Have you read-
Quran,
Have
You've
you
got-
read all the
No,
Dead
no.
Sea Scrolls?
you've got
Correct.
Bad sir?
Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah, the Dead Sea
I've
Scrolls.
seen some of them.
Oh
and-
yeah.
You got the
Have
Hadith,
you read how about the Kama Sutra?
the Talmud. Talmud.
I think they should have
Oh,
kept them in.
Yeah, I think the sea shouldn't have died, personally.
Mm.
Or should
They
have
should have
scrolled
been the living
because they
creatures.
scrolled. No,
Like-
because that's what a doom scroll is. You know, that's what a doom scroll is. When like you make a sea die.
Mm.
I've been to a Dead Sea. It was very salty.
Yes.
Ooh,
yes.
hello. Story of my life.
You would have loved it. You would have licked it and died of dehydration.
Oh,
You know, Oppenheimer liked that Bhagavad Gita.
You can go
Mm.
You mean
to the dry lake beds, where it used to be sea, and then it was a salt lake, and then now it's nothing. And it's like a cave, except that there's no roof. Like it is rock. People go there to shoot off like fireworks. Cool.
Interesting.
Salt is not very flammable. And nothing really grows on salt. Unless you're underground.
Salt of the earth.
right.
I looked into recently because I moved. I was looking at the differences between the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean, and that sent me on a little deep dive. I didn't do this for days of research or anything into like tectonic plates and how that affects like what we consider the ocean. Like, so the Pacific Sea, right, is let's see. I think that was it 30% covering the Earth?
Are you talking about the dorsals? Oceanic dorsals?
And then there's the Atlantic.
You mean the ocean? Yeah, yeah.
And
Oh,
then
okay, because you said
20%
sea.
of covering 20% of the Earth.
Hmm.
Crust.
landmass. But then you have like, okay, so this is my point. Then you have like a bay or like a gulf, so like the Gulf of Mexico, right? And
Mhm.
technically that's not
That's not
the
oceanic
way that
plaque.
we define edges is such that once the filament, like the sedative, there we go, of the continent has mostly settled off. Like where it doesn't reach anymore, that's the line, and that's where the ocean starts. That was kind of interesting.
Usually, what it
Or
is, right? It's like
if it's active, if it's an active
Exactly.
tectonic plate, then that doesn't matter because instead of worrying about that, now you have new crust coming up, and that's where the
Right.
edge is. Yeah.
like for example, the west coast of the Americas is an active subduction zone, right? So where the crust goes in, so that's the
Mhm.
edge.
That is so interesting. So I was looking at the Pacific where I used to live, and it was really complicated. So I actually pulled up the information about the tectonic plates, and there's like out deep in the ocean, the mantle is the crust is coming up, and then like I believe around the so in the ocean, and then connecting like under the Andes, I believe you have a plate going
Yep.
down. It's
Yes,
really
sir.
interesting. So it comes up and it basically goes back down, like really quickly in terms of Earth distance.
Huh, I don't know. I never got into the plates.
Yeah, it's super boring, but I thought it was interesting in terms of like, well, warmer oceans and also being warmer means that your salt content is probably different, is going to affect the life that lives there. So like
Yeah.
in the Atlantic, in the Gulf of Mexico, for example, it's right next to the Ring of Fire, they call it, and so there's going to be a lot more
Mhm.
like animal life, whereas in the Pacific it's a lot colder and less salty, I think it said. And so you see life dispersed very differently, and yeah, I don't know, it's interesting.
Yeah. Yes, I mean,
So interesting. We
A
can
lot
do
of
an
factors.
entire podcast on that.
No, we don't need to.
I don't think
But
we're
it's quite
equipped.
interesting. Yeah, we're not equipped yet.
What do you mean not
Speak-
equipped? We're doing
I'm-
our own research.
I'll have to do way more plate research.
Anyone else have any updates for us? Any updates on anything?
Well, obviously,
Max
I
got
do.
it.
You
I know
idiot.
Max is gonna have
Max
a
the
shit
only
ton.
single one. He's the one with updates.
I have a ton of updates. Okay, so
Okay,
let's see.
go ahead.
Where are we left now? All right. So I don't know if this was ever, officialized on the record of the podcast, but yeah, I mean, I've been meeting with this freaking guy.
Maxos.
Ugh.
Maxos.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh.
Maxos.
Okay.
Are you fucking
Wait,
out walking?
am Of course, I'm out
He is.
walking.
He always does the podcast walking.
My
You're gonna
God.
I
ask him
have
not
to.
walk? That's like asking Shiro not to sleep.
I thought you were podcasting while
Yeah.
working from home.
Don't be any
I
evil
was.
bad Ronald McDonald, okay, Darnie?
I mean, I was, but I have a hot appointment at 3, so
Ooh.
I need to do the
A
workout.
hot appointment.
What time is it there now? Like 1:30?
It's 1 something.
Right. Okay.
This man.
Anyhow.
Mhm. Go ahead.
This might be. All right. So anyway, saw this. Been meeting with this guy 2 weekends in a row, and he stayed over for an entire day on the first date we had. We went on a romantic walk on the ocean, and like
This is the good hugger, right?
the good hugger.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
When you say
And then he
hug,
was over. Hug.
okay.
She's like,
I'm
is
sorry,
it
I
some
like
smooth
hugs, but-
sexual slang?
Sue me, V. So he spent another like the entire weekend last
Mm.
weekend. Like he was here from like Friday night to Monday morning.
So you're in love.
And
Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah,
That's
not
a
sure
lot of a
score.
person.
Were you just like bumming were you hugging the whole time, or
mostly hugging.
or,
mostly
or,
hugging.
or is it a connection?
I mean, there is a connection, but there's a lot of like problems in this connection. Let's put it that way.
Oh.
There's a lot
Like
of
you
positives.
hate each
but that's-
other like that, or
No. Okay, you need to chill. All right, so let's see. Let's list all the problems.
I'm
Problem number
suspicious,
one,
though,
it
of
is-
anyone that is willing to spend that much time
okay,
with someone.
Footman,
But go on.
let him list the problems.
I'm letting him
okay?
list them. I'm just saying I'm listing my suspicion first. Now go.
Probably
Alright.
ugly feet.
All right. No, actually, he has pretty nice feet. But
Irrelevant indeed.
So-
Have you seen Max's hands?
Max's hands are pretty dainty and cute. he has very nice hands, very thin, like fingers, very cute.
Oh,
Anyway,
he's a bottom.
so that's a problem. That's one of the problems. Okay, let's start with that at this point.
All right.
He, I think, kind of like self fetishizes his kind of childishness. Like for example,
Ooh.
he doesn't want to have kids, and the explanation for that he gives is like, oh, I want the whole attention. I don't want to split the attention.
Oh,
Fill up by-
Wait. That's pretty
Yeah.
normal. Now, I understand that the other part could be true.
That is a highly
That's very normal.
that is a highly immature thing.
Let me put
I
this
don't
a
think
different
it's
way.
normal.
I have heard
Mm.
people say that before. It is very normal. What they're saying is that I want to enjoy my life. It's not a great way to say it. And I
No, that's
understand-
where okay.
I
No,
hold
no,
on.
because I don't want
but
kids.
That is what they are saying.
No. There's plenty of people that don't want
No, but
kids,
that's
but
what
it
I don't
ain't.
know
It
about.
ain't that reason.
Sure, but I'm just
Wait,
saying this is normal. This is a way
but
of
one
saying
second.
that they want to enjoy their life. I've met a lot of
Okay,
people.
let's
that say
wait
this.
one sec. Okay, you made your point, but what I'm saying is I don't know about that. Like I don't know that that's what he's trying to communicate. Is what I'm saying. Like maybe it is, but like what I'm feeling,
Yeah,
it's really like more of a
I believe the immaturity thing is there, and that's one way you're
Right,
playing to
right.
it. I believe you.
right. So, but apart from that one data point, there's also the fact that yeah, like he absolutely doesn't view himself as a top in any way. Like it's very, he's very fixated on the idea of, and also has fantasies about that, right? Like kind of like very like fantasies.
But he's not okay. Have you just asked? Like he's not into little boy Dommy daddy?
No. I mean, he's not.
right?
He's not. Yeah, he is. Like that's kind of his
Oh.
one of his
But-
fantasies.
But
Yeah.
why would he be into you?
That's another thing that honestly, it's another red flag.
I mean, not that you're not like a twink
Wait, why
guy, but you're
wouldn't
not.
it be?
You
Wait,
know,
he
the
did.
Max.
He
Max.
brings
Okay,
home the
look,
money. If you
look.
bring home
Max.
the money, you can be Dommy daddy.
No, but Max
and
isn't.
He's confident.
Even though Max isn't a twink guy, he's not a daddy guy either.
What are you talking
Right,
about?
that's the
Max
thing.
Maxos looks like a dad to some extent.
No. Wait. I want to be clear. As someone who has been into DDLG, okay, as long as the person brings home money and they are very authoritative, like confident can look like authoritative, they
Okay.
can fit the role. They can fit that role.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
fine.
know what. Well, my point more so than him
Right.
being able to. He could fit the role in a scenario,
Let me-
but I don't. Well, I was just say that I want Max to talk, but
Yeah, no,
but
that's
I don't
where-
think
no, but that's
I don't
where
get the
I'm
impression
going.
that Max is particularly even into that being that role.
Oh, I don't think so. Yeah.
That's where I'm going. Like that's where I'm going is like, yeah, I don't identify like that at all. In fact, it's a little bit of a, it's very, dysmorphic to me to think myself that
Right.
way, right?
Mhm.
So that's I think one of the unspoken problems that there's going to be eventually. So I don't know to what extent it's going to blow
You know
up.
what you could do
sooner or
about that,
later.
Maxos?
Ma'am?
You could talk about it.
Yeah,
Imagine
girl. I mean,
actually being direct about things that you think could be a
yeah.
problem
Do you,
in a relationship.
okay? You do realize this is like we've seen each other twice, right?
Well, but twice equals like what 200 hours.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
okay,
a good
but-
deal of time.
Sure. But we've also spoken to some extent about that, right? Like one thing that happened is, like on like last time he was here, he was like, I don't know, I forget the context, but the context was important, but I forget it. But basically, he told me, oh no, the reason I like you is like your whatever your humor, and then something else about my personality. I'm like, oh yeah. No. Now I remember the context is important because like he was like he was saying, oh yeah, I like strong guys, hey, you should he was like half joking, say you should exercise more, get a bigger chest or something. And it's fine as a joke, but then I was like, that's not who I am, right? I kind of told him, and so I made it clear that I was not particularly happy with that line of with the pushing of the envelope. And then he thought that he was trying to make it better, and then he said after, this is like days later, he was like, oh, but I like you because of whatever, your sense of humor and whatever else, I forget what he said. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, you're not getting it. I want to be someone with someone who likes my body, right? Like I told him something like that. So it's not exactly what we were talking about right now, but it's pretty much the same topic, right? So like I'm kind of trying to let him understand that he doesn't get to just identify me as he wants and then like me for that. Like I want to be liked for certain things.
Yeah, well,
And
yeah, that'd be a recipe for some. I don't know about insecurity, maybe because it's if he wants Mister like Macho Man,
Wait,
that's
Right.
not your thing.
that's really weird to me. I'm not a man. Can you? I don't get to choose what people like about me. Is that
no, but I get to
a
choose if I
thing
date
that?
them, though. You know what I mean?
Well, is that? Of course.
That's the no, but it is like
I've never
to me
been
it's
in
a
that
big
position.
issue.
I just want to ask Darnell and Daniel, is that a thing that's been any kind of
The-
on your radar
The
before?
reason they
No.
like me matters if I want to be
No?
with them, not if I
Oh,
want to fuck
right.
them, though. Not if I want to fuck them, sure.
Oh,
It,
Exactly.
like me for whatever reason, if
in
it's
a
for fucking.
relationship, it matters a lot. Okay.
Relationship definitely matters.
Okay.
And the reason it matters to me, I think, deep down, is also has to do with two things. One is like self-identity, like who do I think I am, all right? And
Mhm.
second is attachment insecurity. Like if I don't think they like me physically, to me that feels insecure. Like it makes me insecure about the attachment
Mhm.
because, and I am projecting here, of course, right? I know I'm projecting.
Mhm.
But if I didn't like someone
wait,
physically,
Wayne, this is so important, Maxos. As
okay,
a
but can I
person who-
finish it though?
No, as a person who has looked
Okay.
into, well, let me just. This is a clarification, really. I've looked a lot into relational attachments, and it doesn't have anything to do with this. Okay.
Okay, but that's not the way I reason. Like to me, listen what I mean.
Well,
What I mean is that
well,
no,
okay,
let me finish.
I'm
Let me
almost
finish.
there.
Let me
I'm
finish.
almost there. The